A new report from a forensic lab called Smart DNA is revealing that apparently 1 in 4 Nigerian men who did paternity testing in the last year were not the biological fathers of the children being tested.
A video is currently trending on social media about paternity fraud, where there is a test that went as far back 2022 to 2025, shows that 1 out of every 4 men that their children were tested for DNA test. The children are not theirs. Before I continue, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe, like and follow our page, share our videos as well, and do not forget to turn on the notification. Please watch.
A new report from a forensic lab called Smart DNA is revealing that apparently 1 in 4 Nigerian men who did paternity testing in the last year were not the biological fathers of the children being tested. So the lab says, quote, paternity fraud is real. This report itself covers July 2024 to 2025, June 2025. And while it showed that 25% of men tested are not the fathers of the children in question, it is a slight drop from the 27% that was recorded last year. The report also found that firstborn children or the eldest children were the most affected. And, you know, a lot of people are talking about these findings online. One popular content creator is even telling parents to ask for DNA testing before leaving the hospital. Watch.
6 children after marriage of 25 years. This man is just realizing that he's not the biological father of these children. Now, this man said he has been watching my videos for over 4 months now, and he just casually decided to run DNA on all his children. Results are in, and none of them belongs to this man, not even one. He said he has never thought something like this would happen to him because he felt like he's married to the best woman in the world. He said his wife has never cheated on him, so how come all the children does not belong to him? He said even when he brought it up, the woman was feeling reluctant, so he decided to run it behind her. He said he has 1 child before he got married to his wife. She also has 2 children before they got married. Now he has done DNA on that one. He's the biological father. Now imagine if a marriage of 25 years with 6 children and DNA was conducted, not even one of the child belongs to that man. Imagine what marriage of this generation would be. I will keep saying it. You need to choose DNA over naming ceremony.
You see why it is very important to have a DNA test done to every of your child before you go for naming ceremony, or before you start celebrating, or before you spread the news. You see why it's very, very important, because if you don't do it, you are going to cry later. So imagine that 1 out of every 4 men that their children were tested, all of them were not their children. So that means we should be dealing with probably 27% or 30% of men in Nigeria. But some of you men, honestly, you take risk. You first of all train your child for maybe 30 years. And you now remember that, oh, these my children, they don't behave like me. Let me go and check. Let me go and test. Let me go and see. And you get disappointed. That was how an elderly man who is already 70-something years, each child was feeling very sick and they needed a blood transplant. When they tested the man, the doctor said, are you sure this is your son? And the man said, what kind of question is that? He said, from the result, this does not look like your son. And that was when the man did a DNA test and find out that this son is not his child. But he said, this one is the last born. Maybe there's a mistake. He called all his children that stays abroad to come back to Nigeria. That was how he did it secretly without telling the wife. And to his greatest surprise, all his children that he has trained for many years are not his. So the man fell down, and that was how stroke started. You see, this paternity fraud that is going on in Nigeria, the white men has at least helped Nigerians and helped the world at least to introduce what we call DNA tests. As a father, before you escort your wife away from the hospital, ask for a DNA test. It's not a question of whether you trust your wife or whether you don't trust her. It doesn't have to do with trust, because sometimes in the hospital they can swap kids. So you start ironing it immediately. They do your wife, they do you. Then if the fault is from your wife, then you know your fate. But don't make that mistake, as a man, that your children's DNA is not your own DNA. That means all your life investments will be tears. Well, to those who have ears, let them hear. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Like and follow our page, share our videos as well. Thanks for watching.